Hey, podcast listeners. Great news. All your favorite comedy podcasts can be enjoyed ad-free on Amazon Music. Listen to your favorite music plus top podcasts completely ad-free on Amazon Music, included with your Prime membership. Dive into a world of laughs by downloading the Amazon Music app for free or go to amazon.com/ad-free-comedy. That's amazon.com/ad-free-comedy to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
You know that feeling when your favorite brand really gets you? Deliver that feeling to your customers every time. Memorable moments like these are key to building your business and your brand. Brands like Hedley and Bennett use Klaviyo's marketing automation platform to turn their customer data into more personalized connections across AI-powered email, SMS, analytics, and more, making every moment count. Build smarter digital relationships with your customers and make every moment count with Klaviyo. Learn more at klaviyo.com.
By the way, did you see somebody in the comments said my fingers are looking exceptionally elegant?
Yeah,
lately.
so jealous. Meanwhile, I was like, I'm going to wear a clean white t-shirt. And then I played Frisbee with the dog for 5 seconds and I'm like covered in mud. Covered in mud.
Pig women. That's the text me back guarantee.
Did I change my shirt? No.
We don't do YouTube videos no more. You'll never see it.
How much dookie is in this mud? I don't know.
And neither do you, listener.
You know what? I don't need to know because what I don't know can't hurt me. I think that's what the CDC says.
Thanks, Dr. Fauci. Welcome to Text Me Back, the only podcast. I'm Meagan Hatcher-Mays.
And I'm Lindy West.
We did it. Well, Lindy, I know we usually say, well, at the very end, and we say we done it again, but we did done it again, which is we did a live show last week. Of all, thank you for those of you who came to the Seattle Py00blic Library, because it was really fun.
It was really fun. I was just listening to the audio that came out last week.
Yes.
And it is a wild and crazy time. We are like
firing on all cylinders, baby, for once.
Cannot be stopped.
We have one cylinder and we almost never fire on it.
Pow!
Bam.
Pow, pow, pow!
And B of all, thanks to everybody who listened to it last week. But then C of all, this thing happens where I feel like pre-taped call-in show brain,
Correct.
It becomes the worst the week after a live show. And I forget if we've talked about pre-taped call-in show on the show or just on the Patreon, but there's this Mr. Show sketch, if you're not familiar, where the conceit is a man is hosting a pre-taped call-in show. So if you wanted to talk about what he's talking about this week, you should have called in last week. And it's like a time loop from hell.
If you want to talk about what he's talking about on the screen, you're too late.
You're too late.
You need to talk about whatever he's telling you is next week's.
That's what you need to call in about
episode.
This week, is what he's telling you is going to happen next week. And so this happens to us constantly.
Good evening and welcome to the pre-taped call-in show where we tape all our shows a week in advance. I'm your host, Ken Doral, and let's try it again. It's really not that hard, okay? Our topic, once again, is the elderly, okay? We're taping it now, and it airs next week, okay? So, if you're watching me talk about the elderly, don't call to talk about it. It's too late. Instead, call about cooking, which is next week's topic, okay? If you wanted to talk about the elderly, you should have called last week when our pet care show was airing, but we were taping the elderly show.
Basically what happens is our brains go into a time loop and we think, oh, we already recorded the episode. And it's like, yeah, idiot, you did for last week. You haven't recorded the podcast for next week. That's what you have to do right now. A week in advance.
What episode is this, Meagan?
I don't know, dude. I looked at the calendar and I was like, I think this comes out in November. That's not true. If you're listening to this, it's Halloween today. Today is Halloween.
Ooh.
What did we plan for our very spooky Halloween episode? Nothing. There's nothing scary happening in this episode at all. Oh, did we do Duels and Ghouls Part 2? No, bitch. No.
Ghouls, Meagan. Ghouls.
What are you saying? I'm saying duels.
Most famous congressional ghouls.
That was a good joke, though.
It was a good joke.
Oh, did we ask the Text Me Backlights to write in with spooky tales of ghosts and demons so that we could read them? Which, by the way, would have saved us so much time.
No.
We didn't do that either. So what are we going to talk about today? Nothing Halloween-y, I'll tell you that. Although candy is good. We could talk about that, but we're not going to.
Oh. We could talk a little bit about candy. We could do a mini episode called Candy Time with a Y.
With a Y. But we're going to talk about we're going to
do tidings.
We're going to do little tidings.
We're going to do tidings. We're going to do a little segment called What's in Lindy's tabs, or what's in Lindy's algorithm that she's inflicting upon Meagan.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to do a little surprise bonus segment at the end. Is it a surprise?
I don't know. Well, you already told me what it was. It's a surprise to the listeners. They don't know.
Should we keep it a surprise?
Yeah. I think that's business.
That's called marketing.
Yeah. That's
Mama.
That's algorithm. That's posting a bag of human-shaped beans on in your Instagram and being like 5 stars.
Coming up, you won't believe the bag of human-shaped beans at the end of this episode. Watch till the end with your ears.
First they found a human-shaped bag of beans. You'll never guess what they found next. It was friendship.
Messed with the wrong one. This human-shaped bag of beans went wild and out on this old head. That's what the World Star.
Hey, this oldie still slaps. You'll never guess which one. Okay. But before we get to secrets and more secrets, tidings.
Did you prepare a tiding?
No. I was thinking maybe I would tell people about my under eye dryness, but that's kind of boring. So
we are recording this on the wrong day. We're recording this uncharacteristically upon a Tuesday.
That's right.
Because I'm going on a road trip
to
Montana. That's not a good tiding. Let's see. Did anything else happen?
No, going to Montana is a perfectly good tiding.
It would be a better tiding after I'd gone, because then I could tell you about it.
Oh, because then you could tell people what happened.
Yeah.
I thought of one where, I was going to tell people, it was really nice to be back in Seattle. This is a good tiding, right? We did our live show, as previously mentioned. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope you enjoyed being there in person. And then we did a classic Lindy and Meg's Hullabaloo, which we actually talked about a little bit in the live show. But we just drove around, which, by the way, was such a gas when you're 17, but not as much fun when you're 42 and it's 9:45 that night.
We got to start earlier is the thing. Except then you run into traffic.
I know.
That's why
you got to start at 5 p.m. Yeah. But it was fun because we went to Magnolia, a place I have not visited since summer camp 1992. So we were driving around. And Magnolia is such a mystery. Magnolia is a neighborhood in Seattle, Washington that is very fancy. And I think maybe the richest. Maybe it's a tie between parts of Queen Anne and parts of Magnolia for richest.
Well, and it's a strange peninsula.
Yeah.
Which one is it? An isthmus?
That's
the narrow. It's connected by a narrow skin tag to the mainland. There's only one way in and one way out, unless you have a boat or a helicopter, which most of them do. Yeah, there's something spooky about Magnolia in this girl's opinion. I don't know what goes on there.
Nope.
I couldn't tell you a restaurant that's there.
Nope. Do they have a grocery store? Yes, they do.
Yes, they do,
because
Meagan.
We found it, baby. Well, before we get into that though, it's interesting because I went to the summer camp at Blaine Elementary when I was a kid. And then that location, they didn't let us go there anymore. So we went to a different one at a different school. Like, I feel like the Magnolia residents were like, you want us to send our children into that dump? So instead, they sent the Queen Anne kids into that dump for summer camp. That's when I learned how to make myself faint, which they say you shouldn't do. But I didn't know that at the time. I was only 11. So leave me alone. But I don't have any memories. I don't know anybody who grew up there. I don't know anything about it. It's like, it really is like isolated in its own place. It's like, what do you guys get up to? What's the economy like in Magnolia? Like, what are the jobs over here?
If you grew up in Magnolia or went to Blaine camp with Meagan, email us and let us know what's going on over there. And if you remember anything about Meagan.
Yeah. So we were driving around. You were like, what's the main drag of Magnolia? And I was like, girl, I don't know. Because like other neighborhoods do have that. And usually they're named after the neighborhood. For example, Queen Anne Avenue, Ballard Avenue and Ballard. And I was like,
great street,
a great road, a great main drag. And I was like, what is it? Is it just Magnolia Avenue? I don't know. I was like, do they have a grocery store? And then we came around the corner and there was the Metro Market. It's not even that interesting of a story, so I'm not sure why I'm telling you all this. But we screamed.
It was interesting in the moment, Megs.
It was so exciting.
I feel like we were like sort of wandering, parched in a desert, and we needed like a key part of driving around is having snacks. We used to go to 7-Eleven a lot. And so I think even though I don't know that either of us wanted a snack, that's another thing about being 42. You don't always want a snack.
Point. Yeah.
But did I buy a snack? Yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
Did I eat the snack? Yeah. Did I want the snack? Not really. Did I feel gross?
Do I feel bad now? 1,000%. 1,000%.
Is that the moment that driving around took a turn for the to darkness? Yes. But the moment when the Metro Mart appeared, the scream that we uttered was so beautiful and so pure. Oh, you know what? And I have a related, I don't know if that's the end of your tiding. Is that the end of your tiding?
No, the end of it was just like, it was like we had spotted a bald eagle or something. Yeah. We were like, oh, it's the grocery store. Like, it was so exciting. Because weirdly, Magnolia is a food desert.
Yes.
But for the opposite reason, not because of the normal structural poverty and like systemic racism reasons. It's because Magnolia doesn't want trucks over there. So they only have the one grocery store as far as I'm aware. It's very weird.
They bring the tarts in by donkey. But parentheses complimentary, but
yes.
It's like, you know what it is? It felt so incongruous to see that grocery store there because the vibe that Magnolia gives off is as though the residents of Magnolia are seraphim who subsist only on ambrosia that drops from the clouds. You know what I mean?
That's correct.
They're 9 feet tall. They have massive white wings. They shimmer like gold. It's like when Robert Pattinson says he doesn't need a bed because he doesn't sleep in Twilight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They glitter and they don't need such earthly, worldly, dirty pastimes such as munching
vulgar
food.
As human food.
Chewing, swallowing, and pooping? I don't think so. Not Magnolia.
Please don't be disgusting. I have something to say. I don't know if this makes any sense. But if you will follow me on this, just follow me on this one. It's like, how in England, every person in England is a member of the royal family somehow. They're all like a baron or a duke or something. They're like 18th in line to the crown of whatever. And yet every single British person dresses like Paddington Bear. They all dress like a disheveled, dirty shoe. But they're richer than anyone who has ever lived. And that's Magnolia.
You know interesting. What I mean? You're saying the people of Magnolia are dirty because we just said they were glittering gods.
Well, it's like but when they come down to earth,
right,
to pretend to do their grocery shopping,
they don't know how to. They don't know how to do the disguise right.
Yes,
they overplay.
They don't have they don't have street clothes.
Right. It's like when Arthur Weasley who he lives in London. He lives in London. He commutes to work. He has never seen he has never absorbed what is a normal human outfit. What are you talking about, man?
Yeah, he's like, I'm wearing a woman's floral skirt, which, by the way, slay.
Yes.
But, and he's like, what's a rubber duck? What do you mean? Look it up. Why don't you know anything?
It's literally in the name. It's literally in the name. It's actually not opaque at all.
Out of rubber. What's wrong with you, man? It's like, yeah, they don't know anything. That's Magnolia. They're both brilliant, glittering demigods who are stupid and dressed like pigs. I don't know how to describe it. But anyways, that was my trip to Seattle.
Okay.
It was great.
I have two piggyback tidings. You said we don't have any Halloween content prepared. Well, get ready for this.
I'm ready.
You know what they had at the Magnolia Metro Mart that got me thinking? That I have never understood and I do not support. And I don't understand why this has a grip on us as a society. Scads. Piles upon piles of warty pumpkins. Why? Who introduced the warty pumpkin? And why?
I don't like it.
Why did the warty pumpkin sell even one pumpkin? How did this become an industry? That's the pumpkin that you bury in a field. You salt the earth and you bury it as deep as you can dig.
Is there a state fair category for wartiest pumpkin? Like, is that why that species of pumpkin exists? There were so many too. They're like spilling out into the
They were tumbling.
Lot.
They were spilling and tumbling.
It was wild.
I guess, okay, I'm allowed to say this because my other tiding is that I am a warty pumpkin.
I was going to say, as a member of the warty pumpkin community, I am allowed to say this.
And I'll get to that in a second. Like, I obviously, like, if you are a warty person, God bless you. If you have a warty baby and you want that baby to like have some representation, I guess I understand why you would bring home a warty pumpkin.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Well, now I'm kind of feel bad.
You did a crime.
I did a crime. Okay, I take it back. That segment was spooky. What if a spooky version of Lindy that had a different person's mind made a segment about pumpkins?
Who didn't care about warty babies. And she had a podcast. Ooh.
Okay, so that wasn't me. That's not my values. I don't have those values, but one thing I do have, warts. So Meagan and I, we finally got our matching tattoos from the Text Me Back tattoo contest. Still, we have not looked up who submitted this idea, but
I'm gonna be on. I feel like it was more than one person, I will say, and I will also say it's gonna take a minute for me to get to it. Yeah. So, sorry.
While we were getting our tattoos from, by the way, Loren at Blue Dove Tattoos. Go
She rocks.
Get tattooed by Loren. It's BLVEDOVE. Look her up on Instagram. That's the handle. You'll have a great time and get a gorgeous tattoo.
She's great.
So while we were there, I was like, hey, tattoo professional, what do you think is up with these weird bumps on this old tattoo that I got like over the summer?
I don't know.
I love this tattoo. We just went to a random place that takes walk-ins and I was tattooed by a sort of a crusty guy, but like it was a very professional, popular shop. Yeah. It's a trad tattoo, which we know.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I didn't realize we were on like a nickname basis with tattoo styles.
One of us watched all 15 seasons of Ink Master, so I don't know why, and it's not me. I'm just speaking your language, friend.
Me, I have not finished seasons 1 or 2, so take it back. And how dare you?
But it's two hands that are holding hands with flowers behind it. It's really cute.
It is beautiful.
Everything goes fine. It heals. I would say like a month after it healed, all of a sudden there's 4 little bumps on it. And like all of them on the tattoo. And I was like, that's weird. Because it was healed already. Like it seemed fine. I was like, this must be 4 mosquito bites that are all coincidentally on this tattoo. But then they do not go away
Mm.
at all. 2 of them had kind of a little like, excuse me, sorry, trigger warning for gross, kind of a little whitehead. I was like, oh, are these like weird pimples? So
Yeah.
I like squeezed them and it kind of worked, but then it got
Yeah.
worse. Then it got worse. So, and then one of them is just like has a permanent like little crusty thing on it. So then I was like, are these warts? What's going on? Do I have just a wart outbreak again, coincidentally on my tattoo? Because I don't know. It just seemed far-fetched that
Strange.
that months after I got this tattoo, at least 1 month, that suddenly it would grow 4 warts due to something that the guy did.
Yeah.
My only tattoo ever done by a man, by the way. So suspicious. So I asked Loren about it. I was like, what do you think? And she was like, I don't know. Could be something fungal in his green water. And I was like, and then I showed her a picture of him and she was like, he looks a little bit fungal.
It's giving fungus.
It's giving fungus.
Yeah.
I was still unconvinced. I was like, okay, I need to go see a dermatologist, which, yeah, easier said than frickin' done. Where do I?
That's what I'm hearing.
My God.
I'm hearing on the r/30+ skincare subreddit that getting an appointment with a derm is really something. They say it's because people are staring at themselves all the time as people do more like video calls and stuff. And so everyone's like, oh my God, I have to go get Botox. And it's like takes months to get in to see the derma.
Some of us have arm warts.
What about my medical warts?
I was looking up different kinds of lesions and the internet was very insistent that this could be arm syphilis. So, anyway, but I was
shout out to arm syphilis.
Like it was like, I mean, but syphilis sores are only gonna appear on the palms of your hands or your genitals, and I was like, this is kind of close to the palm of my hand.
And it's a drawing of hands.
I was still kind of on the fence about this being related to my tattoo, even though every single person I talked to was like, that's related to your tattoo and you should go talk to a dermatologist.
Yeah.
Until today, Meagan. I was still on the fence until today when what should appear? A 5th wart has appeared, Meagan.
No.
On the tattoo, a 5th wart.
Sir.
I thought you were going to say it's Warto number 5, like Lupin.
A little bit of Wartica on my tattoo.
So now I really need to go to the dermatologist. I still don't know where.
Yeah.
Name one.
Name a single dermatologist. I'm sorry, I don't have a good solution. It's apparently a nationwide issue because of our vanity. Which, by the way, I don't judge. I don't know. Originally, my tiding was going to be about my under eye dryness because I am not interested in aging gracefully. I always thought I was going to be. I always thought, like when I was younger, I was always like, I want to have laugh lines and crow's feet. It proves I lived an amazing life.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, well, fuck that. I'm 42 years old and my ass looks 40 fucking 2 years old, dude. So I bought this fancy under eye moisturizer from like a fancy company. It was expensive. You know what? I'll name and shame. La Neige. Really good reviews. And I didn't even think there was any like actives in this stuff because, you know, like retinol and stuff can dry your skin out. It can cause like crusty skin if you overuse it or if you work it into your routine too fast. But I used this stuff for like 2 weeks. No problems. All of a sudden my eyes started to get really itchy. And I was like, you know what the culprit is? Climate change, baby. They're saying, Lindy, that allergy season lasts longer now because of climate change, because the plants are like, it's hot. And so we still exist and we are shooting allergens into your eyeball. So I thought that's what it was. But I think it's this eye stuff. And so now I can't wear anything and you can't see this. And I'm not going to make a video of it because I don't like it. But there's like, my eyes are like puffy and very dry and a little bit crusty. And I don't remember now why I brought this up. Oh yeah. If you want to get Botox into your eyeballs because of how wrinkly your pupils be looking, go ahead. I don't like looking at that shit either, you know? And that's why I got the deadly creams. And now look at me. Now look at me.
Yeah. I don't know. If I were to get a procedure, well, you told me I'm not allowed to get a lip flip.
No, I don't like that.
Okay, all it does is, so you know, okay, see, I have a pretty good bottom lip, and when I'm just relaxed, my lips are good. But then when I smile, I have that white lady thing where my top lip disappears. So supposedly the lip flip just
you should get a little filler.
That's what it is, Meagan. And you said I can't do it.
But
you said I'm not allowed.
Getting filler to just like plump up the top lip is different than making yourself look like your mouth look like a butt.
I don't think it really does that. I don't know what it does. Meagan, I don't know what it does.
I don't know what it does either. But
someone told me that I should get that.
We believe. Who told you that?
Knitting celebrity Jessie May.
Well, I don't judge her. She's very wise, so she probably knows what she's talking about.
And she's very beautiful, and she has perfect face.
That's always what they say. That's what I say, because I've seen it on Instagram. And it's
boy,
lovely.
I don't know.
Well, that's our tidings. It made a lot of sense, I think, and it was scary, just like Halloween is.
If you're a dermatologist and you want to look at my witchy warts, please call.
Please, 703-829-0003, especially if you're based in the Port Townsend area. That would make life a lot easier.
Please.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Or if you're a non-fungal tattooer and you have advice, give us a call.
And if you're that guy in Portland and you listen to this,
wash your hands, grosso.
You're on notice.
Yeah.
Wash your hands. Watch your back.
Yeah. How you like that? City of Roses? More like City of I'm gonna break your noses. Ah! Got him!
Credit Karma makes building your credit straightforward and stress-free with help from our credit builder. Sign up today at creditkarma.com and start enhancing your financial health. Credit Karma, your partner in building a brighter financial future. Credit Builder plan is serviced by Credit Karma Credit Builder and requires a line of credit and savings account provided by Cross River Bank, member FDIC.
We're back
Meagan.
for segment 2 of Text Me Back.
Let's call this a segment Pubes, because but not for the reason you think.
The reason can I say what the reason is, I think?
Yeah.
Because you are using you are the person who is using bad ethics and systems. And the bad system in this case is the Instagram algorithm. You are bad. By the way, at the top of the show, you were like, oh, it's a segment called What's in Lindy's Tabs. You made it seem so innocuous. No, we're not calling the segment that. We're calling it What Dookie Poop Did You Curse My Eyeballs With? I can't even go onto Instagram Reels anymore. All of it is that one lady being like, I like hats. Oh, I love my hat. Or that lady who's like always like sort of angrily dancing in front of a vanilla Coke. I can't even like and that's because of you. Your P.U.B.E. You are the P.U.B.E.
No, I'm not the P.U.B.E. No, I'm just exploring the vast tapestry of life. And if you want to change, hey, Meagan, be the change that you want to see in your algorithm.
I am the change.
You need to spend you need to spend more time on your own algorithm and stop policing my algorithm. And you go watch more of the videos.
Why are you acting like I want to be a part of your algorithm at all? I don't.
I'm just saying. I'm saying spend your eyeball dollars where you want to see the videos more. Okay. So
you know what? It makes a lot of sense.
Your algorithm,
only a real BBW would say some shit like that.
Your algorithm shouldn't be so fragile that it can be shattered by a couple of, by the way, great videos.
Okay.
Sent to you by me. So
relax.
The segment is what's the best video that Lindy sent to Meagan? No, because it's segment pubes. I can own that, but I'm not the P.U.B.E. The P.U.B.E. is the guy in the video. So what's yes.
You're the P.U.B.E. Do you want me to play the song?
Yeah.
Segment Pubes.
Thanks, Steven. Who was at the live show, by the way?
Yay, Steven!
All right, who is the P.U.B.E. in your algorithm?
Okay, I don't want to drive any traffic to this man because he is bad.
Yes.
But I keep getting served these videos by this MAGA numerologist who's like, first of all, he wears those sunglasses. What's that kind of sunglasses called where it's like a plastic bar across the top, and then it has the two pieces of glasses are like really shiny and reflective like a mirror, and they're kind of shaped like a race car.
Yes. They're Oakleys. They're like wraparound.
Yeah. Okay.
Like reflective Oakleys. Yes.
I'm gonna go back.
A classic of the MAGA genre is like, if you get a reply on one of your socials and the person's profile pic is wearing a pair of these bad boys, you know, but you don't even need to read the comment. You know that shit is going to be some MAGA toad behavior.
Yeah. So
Not
he's
good.
like, he's a toad in Oakley's, toad shaped for sure, sort of a pale white toad from a deep cave. And he makes videos about all kinds of things, really. But what I want to talk to you about today are his videos about numerology, because it's real. I don't know if you know this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh?
So here's the first one that I want to talk about.
One of my guys, Fresh, he is born 1992, year of the monkey. He lives in Miami, which is a monkey city. He literally flourished in that city. But people who are tigers, enemy signs, they don't do so well. Let's talk about some of the most banned people in America. Would you agree that Alex Jones is one of them? Yup. Tiger. Would you agree that Nick Fuentes is one of them? Tiger. Would you agree that Sneeko and Andrew Tate are some of the most banned people? All tigers. Every single one of them is a tiger. So people who are tigers will have issues in America, but people who are monkeys will flourish in America.
No, totally. Many are saying that it's real. Many are saying that Andrew Tate did nothing wrong but be born in the year of the monkey. Otherwise, a top-notch citizen of the world.
No, he's a tiger, Meagan. Get it? You
Oh,
need
I'm
to pay
sorry.
attention.
Who's
Where
the monkey?
It's the
sorry.
America. America is the monkey.
America's the monkey.
Meagan, can you deny that Sneeko is one of our most banned people?
I think what's so unfair for the tigers in this life is that they've done nothing wrong. Is Nick Fuentes a Nazi? Yes. Still, the persecution, people, the persecution.
It's the monkey
Andrew
tiger.
Tate, by the way, doesn't live in America. He lives in Romania. Still.
That, you know why? 'Cause
Banned.
The monkeys banned him.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
so I learned a lot. That blew my mind immediately. Because, like,
Yes.
okay, so Meagan, you got to ask yourself, we're both year of the dog. Do monkeys like dogs? I've seen a video on the internet of a monkey riding a dog, but is that positive, or are we subservient to the monkey?
You know, this is above my pay grade. I think we need to call in the MAGA numerology expert.
And then we can't call him. He doesn't believe in women. We'll get to that in a second. But you know, he proved it because he manages Fresh and Fit is a monkey, and that's why he lives in Miami, a monkey city, and he flourishes there. That's what he says.
What is Fresh?
He flourished. Fresh, we can't talk about Fresh. Fresh was born in the year of the banana, and you don't want to know what happened.
Another great video from Lindy West.
No,
I believe my
more.
response to that. I believe my response to that one was, "I'm calling the police."
Hold on, I got more. He's got a lot. There's a lot to learn. Okay, this one's really good.
Listen, this is one of the reasons I believe in numerology. 7's the number of intelligence. I don't know about you, but I don't think much about women's intelligence. I really don't, okay? I don't give a damn how that sounds. They have a different type of intelligence. Whatever you want to call it. They're nurturing, but they're not. Again, emotional intelligence is an oxymoron. Okay, so here's what it comes down to. I saw women who were born on the 7th, 16th, 25th who were running circles around men from an intellectual standpoint. Like, what the fuck is this? And then I realized it superseded gender, superseded race, superseded everything. So that's what I started saying, okay, there's something to this, and I've been at this for about 20 years. This doesn't happen overnight.
So
what's he saying? Women are only born in July?
He said no. It's really, he explained it, Meagan. Okay, women are not intelligent. He has another video where he explains, I can play it for you if you want. He explains how every country that's ever been ruled by a woman has collapsed. But there's one loophole where women are allowed to be intelligent, and that's if they're born on the 7th, because 7 is the smartest number. So it's 7 is such a smart number that if a woman has 7, she can even be smarter than a white man. And a lot of people
Is that what they're saying?
He said it supersedes even race, Meagan.
Oh.
Yeah. So, okay. And like women who are number 7, they might flourish in Miami like fit. Because they're smart.
Because they're monkeys.
They're smart monkeys like the MAGA numerologist. Okay, I have just one more video.
Okay.
I understand that this segment can't go on all day, even though this guy's got a lot of cool ideas. I gotta play you this one. I'm sorry.
Oh, you should apologize. And
I
not
know.
just to me. This man has probably made $150,000 off of you alone. Watching
Yeah.
this.
That's what I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to help his business anymore. But on the other hand, he's taught me a lot. Okay, ready?
I'm learning a lot.
Okay, this one's going to blow your mind. Do you have your helmet on?
I'm holding on to my butt.
Okay, here we go.
A time traveler? Yes. I don't think he's a genius. I think he just went back in time. One of the keys that someone is a time traveler is they can't have kids. If you don't belong in this timeline, you're not going to have kids. Tesla didn't have kids. Keanu Reeves had so many kids that died of miscarriage. If I was to bet one person for sure is a time traveler, I would say Keanu Reeves. Why Keanu Reeves? He's born in 1964. He looks really good for his age, but that's not enough proof. What is proof is his wife. His wife is born in 1973. She looks like she's a zombie because she looks so old. I'm thinking this guy's sucking the life out of her just to keep himself looking young. Number 2 would probably be someone in the Trump family because they're the ones who went into Tesla's workshop, started looking at his work. The Trump family was not rich before they stumbled on Nikola Tesla's work.
His dad was the one who cleaned up his work, right?
His uncle.
So
I didn't even know they had any correlation.
Yeah, when Tesla died.
And someone went in and sees all this. It was the government. Trump. And the guy who actually started investigating everything, that was Donald Trump's uncle.
What are the odds of that?
What are the odds of that?
What are the odds of that?
I love the guy who goes, it was the government, right? It was the government, right? It's really hard to watch the stupidest person you've ever seen in a room with 6 somehow even dumber people talking about Keanu Reeves is sucking the life force out of this lady. I mean, here we have a king who doesn't put his hands on people without consent and is dating someone his own age, which is, I think he's the only man in Hollywood who does so. And you're like, she has gray hair. Gross. He must be a time traveler. There's no other reason why Keanu Reeves would have an age-appropriate relationship.
But Meagan, okay though, but you have to keep in mind that MAGA numerologist is the hottest and the smartest time traveler that is on that, and he found out about the time traveling. And so we do have to actually believe him because facts don't care about your feelings, Meagan.
That's so true.
Emotional intelligence is an oxymoron, and the only intelligence that matters is the numerology. And so I'm convinced.
Brain science. Yeah.
I'm convinced. So, okay, there. He also has this other video that I won't play for you, but he says that aliens aren't real, and you're like, well, that seems like a stretch for him. But then it sort of seems like the reason he thinks aliens aren't real is because he's jealous that other people already came up with the good aliens.
Well, he's slumming. He couldn't even come up with dog-human hybrids. No Lassie Rigatoni for this man. And he's slumming in the numbers game.
Literally.
Sad.
It's sad, Meagan. So he's like, I don't believe in the reptilians. I don't believe in the Whittle Gway guys. I don't believe in the Palladians or whatever. It's like, yeah, dude, that's because they're popular. And I'm sorry, but anyway,
those are verified.
He has to bring it back to himself. And so he goes, the thing that I think is more likely is that time travel is real. Like he's really on this time travel thing. But then he gets you thinking, Meagan, because he says, what's the most famous UFO? And then the guy says, Roswell. And he goes, exactly. What are the letters that Roswell starts with? RL, Rothschilds, RL, Rockefeller. So it goes all the way to Illuminati. And then
I see it. Like an anti-Semitic conspiracy as
well.
Yeah,
this is why I can't be platforming this man because he really does it all. It's very anti-Semitic.
Good. Great.
He has a video that I didn't watch called Kamala Slept Her Way to the Top. He has multiple videos where he makes this point, which is that feminism causes death because feminism leads to single mothers, which lead to beta males, which lead to socialism, which causes death. So it's not a good guy.
No.
It's a bad guy. But I'm getting some interesting information though
You are not getting
time.
interested. No.
About the time travel.
No.
Of
You know what
Keanu
makes me sad about
Reeves.
this? Just to be a dork for a second. I was reading, so there's all this data now to suggest that there's this divergence in political ideology between young men and young women, where young men, especially like young white men, but not just white men, are taking this hard right turn into, I don't even want to call it conservatism. It's like MAGA-ism, Trumpism, really hardcore right wing, like nasty shit. Whereas young girls, their peers, are not doing that, and they're like veering further to the left, or at least not going insane. And I don't know how to articulate this. I might be like an apologist or something. There's this like multiple well-funded networks that like put their stuff out on Instagram and YouTube, and it's specifically designed to radicalize young men. And I don't know that we have a response for that. You know what I mean? And it stresses me out all the time. I have two nephews. One is 13 and one is, let me do the math, 9. And it's like, look, they have a loving family, which is a key indicator that they'll be okay. But it's like some of these kids, I feel like, have some sort of event that really messes with them, and like they find comfort in like MAGA numerology and tiger monkey dog smoothies, and it scares me. It makes me so sad. It's like I know, but I also like I don't want to be like, oh, I feel bad for people who become January 6th rioters, but I think I do. I mean, not all of it is like, this radicalization is happening at levels that like we can't combat. It's not wholly someone's fault that they get taken in by like psychotic shit. And this, as far as these things go, is like just silliness, but it just stresses me out.
It's actually not. His videos are like really fascist.
Yeah.
And like I just want to acknowledge that like I'm playing into it.
You're going to be fine, and like your kids are going to be okay. Like, again, loving families.
No, I know. But like, here, listen, let me do some accountability. We have no evidence that this man even believes any of this stuff. But what he does is he makes these outrageous videos that cause people like me to forward them to my friend to torture her, which then promotes him in the algorithm. And then people like me, or people like people's nephews, end up there because it gets fed to them, and then they get fed the videos about how Kamala slept her way to the top and how supposedly every country that ever had a female leader has collapsed. By the way, okay, 99% of civilizations that have collapsed had only male leaders, so I don't know
what to say.
I don't know to tell
Maybe
you,
they
man.
were all monkeys in a tiger Earth. We don't know.
Right.
We don't know.
This is actually a very sinister thing that I know that I should stop hate watching, because it is actually really bad. And there are a lot of people who I think don't know how to discern or it seems far-fetched when people talk about like the wellness to Trump pipeline.
Yeah.
But it's exactly like this.
It is that. Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Well, it's like how anti-vaxxing is kind of like, it's like the horseshoe, I guess, where it's like there are people who don't want to get the vaccine because they distrust the government. And then there are people on the left who don't want to get the vaccine because they distrust pharmaceutical companies. But in both scenarios, they are not getting vaccinated. And it kind of leads them to the same place. Yeah. And it's like, I will say deep down, listen, you can keep sending me the videos. It's all right. Even though I hate them, and I do think you should be brought up on charges. But here's what I will say. If you have a son, can you be careful out there?
Yeah.
It is wild out there. I mean, I don't mean to say that like it's, listen, growing up as a teenage girl is not easy either, but they are coming for teenage boys in a way that I have never seen before.
Yeah. They're coming for teenage boys. And this guy, for example, has many, many videos about how women should not be allowed to vote and we should take the right to vote away from women. So like, okay, if we indoctrinate all the boys into our weird fascist rhetoric and then we disenfranchise all women, then what happens?
Keep me posted.
But I do have, there's just one more this actually is really important.
This one actually is real and not bad for teenage boys or girls.
It's just very relevant to our interests. And so I just want to play this because this shook me and devastated me. And I'm not the same, and I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Because we need to have some kind of a summit and figure out an action plan. We need to have action items. We need to have breakout sessions. This is kind of more your area than mine. So if you could,
I'll rent a space for our all day strategy sesh.
Great.
There will be sandwiches.
Oh, amazing. Okay, great. So here we go. Ready?
Next enemy sign combination is pig and snake. This is uncertain to you, Elon Musk. When you look at certain issues, you start seeing that pigs and snakes don't get along too well. Charlie Sheen, born in the snake year, married Denise Richards, born in the pig year. How'd that marriage go? Not too well. That's what happens when enemy signs get together. Benazir Bhutto, former prime minister of Pakistan, was assassinated in a pig nation. She was born in the year of the snake. This is how this stuff works.
Okay, you know what? Forget everything I just said. This guy rocks. All of our children should be learning about the critical, real theory of Pig Nation.
But Meagan
and Snake Woman.
What am I gonna do if pigs and if I'm pig and I love snakes? I mean, this is a real Romeo and Juliet situation.
I know.
This is a real Fox and the Hound situation, Meagan.
You got to be careful out there, man. Listen. Life is too short as a pig woman to not enjoy a snake from time to time.
Okay.
You know, what is life if not occasionally dining with your enemy?
Well, you know, Meagan, and what is being a leftist if not having a beautiful, brilliant imagination for the possibilities of the future?
It's called creating community. Ever heard of it? That guy never has.
Yeah.
Mutual aid between the pig nations and the snake women.
Yeah.
That's the text me back guarantee.
So screw you, MAGA numerologist. Also, you're ugly and stupid, by the way. You're the ugliest, stupidest man I've ever seen. And Keanu Reeves' girlfriend / adult woman partner is the prettiest person I've ever seen in my life.
That's right. Also, listen, if you were a teenage boy, listen to me. Don't you ever take advice from a grown man who doesn't wash his ass. Turn it off. That man hasn't washed his ass in his life. He does not know what he's talking about. Okay? Leave it alone. Put it down.
If there's a sweaty white man who looks like a golf ball and he's wearing Oakleys and a backwards hat and he's talking about monkeys and pigs and tigers, and if he says the word Rothschilds, block and report, put it down.
Put it down.
It's over.
He doesn't wash his ass. You do not want to be a part of that.
The stink fumes are wiggling.
They are.
Out of that.
They are animatedly wriggling out of his body. If I find out a single one of our child listeners is taking advice from a man who doesn't wash his ass, you're done for, sweetie. Okay?
If I see one of you looking at a YouTube video and in the background of that YouTube video, there is a little cartoon fly with a little dotted line behind it and it's circling around that guy's butt, we're going to have a podcaster teacher conference.
I'm calling your parents.
Yep.
Okay. They're probably in the Discord, so I know where to find them. Yeah. Don't you dare. And that's segment pubes, I guess.
Segment wash your pubes, or my child is not taking advice from you. Okay, cut that out.
Well, Lindy, it's time to go wash our asses so we can continue to give the youth advice. Listen, this podcast is coming out on Halloween. I hope you're watching all your spooky films. I'm going to go watch Halloween Town and Halloween Town 2. Halloween Town 2. 2 classic films that are made for adults, and I'm going to watch them. Another date that's coming up is the presidential election It's election day in 5 days. It is not too late to canvass, donate money either for Kamala or for a close Senate race. By the way, did you know that it is Congress that appropriates money to spend? They see how many tax dollars we've sent and they say, here's how I would like to spend it. So you might want to have good members of Congress if you're concerned, say, about what the government is spending its money on. For example, I don't know, weapons, these sorts of things. So it's not just the president, gang. It's the Senate and it's the House too. Actually, the scariest thing we've talked about today is the election.
Yeah,
I'm scared.
It's funny that we started out by being like, oops, we didn't plan anything spooky, because we've talked about pumpkins. We've talked about warts. We've talked about right-wing brainwashing of children.
Yep.
And now we're talking about the election. So I actually
this was a haunted house. So I'm so sorry.
But now it's time for a surprise segment that I'm gonna spring on you. And I think that this dovetails beautifully with the election. The segment's called Corny Tyme.
I'm ready. Corny Tyme. It's spelled Tyme, by the way.
Yeah.
Corny Tyme.
Corny Tyme, sponsored by Candy Time. But if you own a candy company and you'd like to send us some candy, we will advertise your candy on the podcast. Send us a bag of candy. We'll talk about it. Anyway, even if you just want to send us candy that you like and you think that we would like.
You got some loose candy? I'll take it.
Is there a guy named Reese and the pieces belong to him?
Those are his pieces.
Do we know?
I don't know.
Okay. Anyway,
I guess we'll find out.
But I want to do Corny Time really quick because we like to keep things hilarious on this show, and dark and edgy. We're edgelords and edge ladies. We're edge viscounts. But I was just thinking, because you texted me this morning and you said, "Do you still want to try to record today?" And I was like, "Yeah, man." I love recording the podcast. And then I was thinking, the other day I'm in a group chat with a couple of mutual friends, both of whom have been mentioned today, actually. I won't re-mention them in case this is sensitive, but you could go back and figure it out. It was MAGA numerology guy, and it was a warty pumpkin.
It was Pig Nation and Snake Woman.
So we have a group chat, and someone texted the group chat and was like, "How are you guys getting through this? Like, how are you surviving this? This election is really getting to me at this point. Like I'm out of steam."
Yep.
And I was like, well, first of all, Zoloft, Sertraline, yes. Shout out to Sertraline. Number 2, honestly, podcast. I love doing this podcast. It absolutely has kept me afloat for the past year. It is so fun. It's so rare as an adult to get to talk to your friends all the time.
I know. Yeah.
The thing that you lose when you don't talk to your friend every day like you do when you're in high school or college or whatever, or even in your 20s, is you don't know what's going on in their day to day. And so you lose context for the person. And then hanging out doesn't have that kind of intimacy where it's like, I know that you're waiting for a package because you ordered 10 pounds of bulk candy from Candy Time or whatever. JK, Candy Time does not ship. I checked yesterday. But this podcast has really been a light in the darkness for me. And even though it is a ton of work for no money, it is
patreon.com/sexypod if you're feeling generous.
If you're wondering, by the way, if you're like, why are they constantly like demanding that we pay for this podcast? We do pay. I see how many Patreon subscribers there are. There's tons of us. I'm gonna just be transparent with y'all. I'm going to be transparent with you people. You folks. Meagan and I recently asked the bookkeeper. We got a bookkeeper. And then Meagan said, bookkeeper. Can you look at our books and tell us how much money we can afford to pay can we pay ourselves a paycheck yet? Mm-hmm. Can we? And you know what the bookkeeper said? She said yes.
Yes. Parentheses, don't get excited. There was a big asterisk next to the yes. She did say yes, and then she said $387 is the amount.
Oh, per episode? Per episode, right?
That is not what she said. She said per month. I hate to blow your mind, sister, but that is not what she said. So yeah, And the reason is because, first of all, the amount of support we've gotten for the show, we can't even tell you how much we appreciate it. And we love you guys that you listen to the show. And we do bring in some money. Almost all of it goes back into producing the show. Like, we pay for our producers. We pay for the company that helps us sell ads. Patreon takes a cut. They deserve it. They deserve it. Now we pay for the bookkeeper. We had to spend some of that money to launch our merch shop, by the way, and we're spending more money to restock the shop because a bunch of stuff sold out, which is so flattering. But it's not enough money to actually like pay ourselves,
which is fine for now.
Okay.
I mean, that's kind of the point of my Corny Tyme, is that I just love making this podcast. And
it's really fun. We both are on the record of wanting to do this forever. And just to put a finer point on it, the whole point of the show was to have a show where, again, I feel like our show is not apolitical. It exists in politics, but we did just want people to have something where that was not the driving force behind what you're listening to. I think you get enough of that everywhere else. It's like, we really thought of the show as something you might listen to in between phone banking and canvassing and volunteering or calling your member of Congress or whatever, or like doom scrolling on Instagram, which I'm doing a lot lately. We wanted that show to be that, and it is that for me, and it's that for Lindy too. And it is a ton of work, and we really do want to keep making it, but we hope it's been. By the way, this is not like a lead up to us being like, by the way, we quit the show.
No,
it kind of sounds like that's where I'm going, but that's not where I'm going.
I didn't even intend it to be a fundraising pitch. I was genuinely
it's not. I mean, it's not. It's just, but that really has been like, it is like, this election has been difficult on a number of different levels. Ultimately, like, my values and my heart has led me to Kamala Harris. I'm proud to vote for her. I don't feel regret about voting for her, but it's hard. There's a lot of really shitty stuff happening, and if you care about, never-ending war in the Middle East, there's not a good option between the two of them, although one of them does represent an even more psychotic and grim carnage in that region and across the globe, and the other one doesn't. So for me, it was like, it's been hard, but this podcast has been a real light. What I never want to do is make a show where you feel like there's nothing you can do to change the circumstances that we are in. And so that's one thing I loved about our show last week, was that we're talking about difficult stuff, but we're doing it in a way that I hope makes you feel like hopeful for what is possible.
Yeah. Democrats fucking suck ass.
Indeed.
And it's very demoralizing to be a Democrat, to be a left-leaning person. A thing that you're always reminding me of that's really easy to lose sight of is that systemic change is never, ever in a billion fucking years going to be top down.
Nope.
It's just not happening.
It's not happening. And it's also not linear. Right. Which fucking sucks, because it feels like you get so far and then and then 2016 happens and we're right back to like 1965 in a lot of ways. It really sucks. You have to stay in it. Like, just don't take yourself out of the game. That's what this is about. And I think every movement has to grapple with this, right? It's like, do I want to use the Democratic Party as my organizing vehicle? That's what I've decided I want to do. I believe that this is the party in which I can organize for something better. But the other option is something else, creating something else yourself, or maybe it's a third party. To me, those options are not viable. And it's never viable to try to do that like 5 days before an election or 3 days or in an election year at all. That is not a timeline in which you can create an alternative vision for democracy. You need a lot more time than that. And it also means you have to be engaged outside of presidential election years too.
Yeah. I'm not saying that people aren't doing this, because absolutely there are organizers who are working on all kinds of things. But like, how about we have a big conversation about third party candidates in off years?
I would have loved to have had it in 2022 even, or 2018. But presidential elections get all the attention, and that's when people sort of come out of the woodwork to be like, we should change everything. And it's like, yeah, no, totally. I agree. The way I've decided I want to do it is by organizing within this party that is full of weenies, but is becoming less weenie over time, because that's what we're working towards, is fewer weenies. The fewer weenie guarantee. That's what we're working towards. Okay. The no weenie pledge.
And by the way, you absolutely should vote for whoever you want to vote for. I'm gonna vote for Kamala Harris, but
we're not here to tell you what to do, but we're here to tell you what we're gonna do. And I think that's important. So all we're doing is telling you what we're gonna do. It's like the famous saying. So that's what we're doing.
And to be clear about my values, and I don't like the Democrats particularly.
That said,
I am voting for Kamala Harris, and I saw a video today, but it was a post about all these people saying that we have to vote for Kamala, can't even name any of her policies. And that's not true.
Try me, bitch.
Yeah. Like, there's so many straw men everywhere, and I'm trying hard not to do it myself because it is very tempting. But just if we take that as an example, can you give us some of your favorite Kamala policies that you do like?
I would love to. I would love to start with the Supreme Court, if I may. Every single issue you care about, hello, is this on? Every single issue you care about is under threat by the Supreme Court of the United States. Okay? The Supreme Court can implement Trumpism whether Trump is the president or not. The only way to fix that is electing someone who's not deranged to nominate Supreme Court justices who are normal. That person is Kamala Harris. Okay? That is my prevailing issue, not just as a lawyer, but just as a person. There is no voting rights law that this court is going to uphold. There's probably no abortion law that the Supreme Court is going to uphold. There's probably nothing. Just, I don't know. Do you like clean air? Do you like drinking clean water? Supreme Court doesn't like that either. Okay. That's one thing Kamala can do. Okay. Because the personnel is a big part of how our government functions also. And the judiciary is personnel. And those are the people that she can pick like immediately on day one. Okay. She's obviously very good on abortion rights. I don't know if people know this, but in Dobbs, the case that overturned Roe v. Wade, it's not just that they overturned access to abortion. They were attacking the legal rationale that also provides access to contraception and also provides access to gender affirming care, and which also makes legal gay marriage. All of those cases are built upon this single legal foundation, and the Supreme Court went after it directly in that abortion case. So all of that stuff is at risk. I do not know how else to tell you. We cannot survive another 4 years of Trump. I saw this video, but I saw this video of somebody being like, oh, you survived 4 years of Trump, you can survive another 4. 1 million people died of COVID. So not everyone did survive 4 years of Trump, okay? And I'm definitely not going to mentally, okay? I'm not trying to drive a false equivalency, but it's like we all have to stay alive so that we can help other people stay alive too, and we cannot do that if Donald Trump is the president, okay? But in the spirit of Corny Tyme, here's the deal. Again, we are not telling you what to do, but we are telling you what we're doing. And what I am doing is, I have already voted. I sent in my ballot. And I voted for, as I mentioned last week, I voted for a referendum to institute ranked choice voting in the District of Columbia so we can have a little bit more fair of a system. And that's what I'm going to keep doing. I'm going to keep organizing within the Democratic Party to get stuff that helps everybody, both here and abroad. That's what I want. It's going to take a really long time, and we're not going to somehow solve our broken two-party system in the next 5 days. Again, that's just where I'm at. So.
Yep. And I don't know what will happen if Kamala loses, but we will all still be here and we will take care of each other and we'll continue to move forward and do our best. But I would rather try to move forward and do my best to fix our system, not under Donald Trump, who is going to actively make it more difficult.
He literally said, all you have to do is vote for me one more time and then you'll never have to do it again. Because he will not allow elections to continue. So just one woman's take. I'm not for that.
I'm not for that.
Should we end on a positive note?
Yeah.
There's always something that you can do about this. Like I said before, there's 5 days left. Find a phone bank. Get out there and canvass.
Give him the old beep boop 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 beep boop beep. Ring ring.
Hello, Montana. Vote for John Tester, baby. It's probably too late to send postcards, but there's probably a text bank, phone bank, lots of stuff that you can do. Let's go win it, okay?
Yeah,
because I'm scared.
And we'll put some links in the show notes so that you know where to go.
Yes.
And let's do it. And
let's do it.
Also, let's not have war.
Thanks. Thanks for listening.
And if you're sad, try starting a podcast with your best friend.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You will make no money. You might lose some money.
Yeah.
Actually. I don't know. Something to think about.
But, okay. Or, you know what's another name for a podcast? Phone call. You could Yep. I'm being silly, but that's just another word for sticking with your community and building connections with people and taking care of each other. So let's go do it.
Let's do it. And with that,
bye-bye. Thank you so much for listening to Text Me Back. If you like the show, please tell your best friend about us. Be sure to rate and review us. It helps people find the show. And most importantly, please support our Patreon so we can keep making this. It's patreon.com/textmebackpod. Text Me Back is a production of Meagan and Lindy, proud members of the BFF Network. Our senior producer is Meagan Hatcher-Mays. Our other senior producer is me. Our show is supported by COPILOT Collective and produced by Alli Slice. Our digital strategist is Chance Nichols.
Diana Bowen is our video and creative wizard. Our production team includes Lindy West, Meagan Hatcher-Mays, our loves, our anxieties, and our fears.
Our music is by Chief Ahamefule J. Oluo.
Special thanks to our perfect angels, Jeannie Yandel, Brandy Fullwood, and Isolde Raftery.
I'm Lindy West.
And I'm Meagan Hatcher-Mays. See you next week. Mwah!